We read about fear in Genesis chapter 3. After Adam and Eve failed the Lord come walking in the garden in the cool of Eden. And he said, Adam, where are you? Adam and Eve run and hid, and when God called them out of their hiding place, he said, I feared. When I heard your voice, I feared. Fear will keep us from responding to the voice of God. Fear will not keep us from hearing the voice of God. Well, fear will keep us from responding, because Adam said, I heard, but I feared. And he hid. Fear will stop us from responding to the voice of God. Fear will cause us to hide from the presence of God. And that's not the plan of God. He said, I heard, but I feared and hid, because he knew I was naked. Don't let fear stop you from responding to the voice of God today. There's a story in Matthew 25 about the Lord that's going on a long journey, type and shadow of Jesus, going to heaven to get the seal on the church. And it said the Lord gave to his servants his talents. And some of them used their talents. And when the Lord come back, he had fruit to show the Lord. But there was one that received one talent. And when he was called before the Lord, he said, I feared, and I hid your talent in the ground. Are we hiding our talents today because of fear? Or are we using the talents to bring fruit to the Father, and fruit that remains? Because it was fear that made that man hide his talent. He dug it up and he gave it back to the Lord, and the Lord was cross. He said, if you at least had put it on and got some usury on it, some interest. But you see, fear made him bury it. Are we hiding our talent on the ground today because of fear? Fear paralyzes. But David, in that great Psalm 23 that most people know, in verse 4, he said, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. A bold statement from the psalmist. But he knew exactly why he could make that statement. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. He wasn't dead. He wasn't even thinking of dying. But he was in difficult situations. There was thieves and murderers behind every rock. And he's walking through there, and he said, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. We're always aware of the presence of God. Nowhere have ever I experienced the presence of God more than when I was in difficult situations. The enemy all around me, but I was so conscious of the presence of the Lord. Masked men and their submachine guns couldn't penetrate the peace of God. And they had to stand aside and let us pass through. Because that's our God. Whoever Jesus sets free is free indeed. He said, speak to the mountain, command it to be set aside. Oh, the devil would like us to be like the children of Israel, spend 40 years marching around the mountain. He would like us to spend time and money driving around the mountain. Spend time and money learning to climb a mountain. But he said, speak to the mountain and command it to be cast aside. Faith overcomes fear whenever it's applied and our faith in the Lord Jesus Christ.